What's good, everyone? This is Deb the Coolest.
And this is JB.
And welcome to Hashtag Flip Talk. Hey, lit.
I was going to let you just say it this time.
With a hashtag, it lit. Thank you all for joining us on our season 4 finale.
Yes, definitely. Season 4, I can't believe it. It feels like it came really, really quick. Like it really
season ended really quick.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like the other seasons felt a little longer than this one. This one, maybe because we're not really doing anything.
Right, this is the only thing that we really do.
Right. But this one.
But it's been 3 months because it's been 3 months.
Wow.
And we started this season before the Corona shit popped off.
Right. That's crazy.
Like, we were in the studio and everything, and then nope.
Yeah.
Corona said, nope.
Exactly. And here we are. And by the time we start season 5, we'll be back in the studio.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
Not hopefully. I mean, I'm gonna come down there, so I'm coming.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant in the way of like you were saying, like things will be opened up again. That's what I thought you were getting at.
Oh yeah, I don't know if things will be fully opened back up, but either way, I'm gonna be open back up.
He said we need some studio because this Zoom audio is not cut it.
Seriously.
Okay, so we're doing the shooting the shit episode.
Which is one of my favorite things to do with the podcast is shooting the motherfucking shit.
I'm on the motherfucking shit. Okay, what we talking about first?
So there's so much to like discuss. I mean, just for if there's people that have never listened to a Slick Talk podcast episode ever, when we shoot the shit, and our episodes shooting the shit, we usually cover current events and hot topics and things like that. So as you guys probably already know, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Right, there's too much going on. Huh?
I was about to say, I don't know personally where to start. But
right,
I mean,
but I'm just like, it's so much going on. We supposed to be on lockdown. Why is so much shit popping off?
Right. Like, what's going on? I'm so confused. It shouldn't be like this, but it is. So, I mean, I guess we can go back a little bit and start off light. Kind of controversy, but 6ix9ine.
Tekashi
6ix9ine got out of prison or got out of jail and is free. And but I feel like half the population is calling him, I guess you could say the king of New York, because that's what he calls himself. The king of New York, and then the other half is calling him like a snitch.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I've been wanting to have this conversation.
We touched on it. I think we touched on it when he first went to prison. That was like 2 seasons ago.
Exactly, which is crazy. And now here we are after everything that has transpired, specifically with that case and with him. And he's out of prison. Apparently, he's on lockdown inside of his house, and he's being monitored.
Well, he had to move because that girl recorded him on a balcony.
Yeah, so he had to move, which is crazy. Like, I mean, I personally would love to be out of jail or prison or whatever the case may be and have my freedom, but is it really freedom when you gotta like stay in the house and nobody can know where you're living, and if somebody finds out, you gotta completely like move somewhere else?
Right. I don't think that's a fun life to live. But I think, and I'm sure you would agree that it's probably a lot better to be at home. You know what I mean? Like I can imagine it would be a lot better to be home. But I agree with you that that's not a life to live. But I think with his whole situation, that's what's pissing me off, or not really pissing me off because I'm not extremely invested. But what is interesting to me is that he got off for snitching, right? Which is like against the code or whatever, the street code. You don't snitch. I personally I'm not doing time for nobody, but that's another conversation. Well, if it's for like friends, maybe, but not for people that tried to kill me.
Exactly.
But what is also interesting to me is that he's still showboating.
Yes.
He just feels so loud and out here, and it's like, what's the end goal here? Like, you're like, still trolling. he's constantly arguing with celebrities. Like he's been going back and forth with Snoop. He's been going back and forth with it. Is it not 50 Cent? That's his. What's the Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber? You know, going
And
back
50 Cent a little bit. I think him and 50 Cent had some words or something.
And he called him his son or something once upon a time. 50 called Tekashi his son once upon a time. But yeah, I'm sure they exchanged words. That's just what's baffling to me is that, come on, Popular.
Okay, like what the heck is going on? Come on, Popular.
I just hear ding ding. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that is that it's like just okay, you're a musician, do your music stuff. Like, hey, by all means, if that's your career, but this trolling in addition to it, like that's not okay.
But I definitely would want, I mean, you said, oh, that's another conversation when it came to snitch or not to snitch. But I do want to touch on that a little bit.
We can have the conversation now, but I mean, like, outside of the point I was trying to make at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so to your point, it's interesting how that is like this code that has been going around of not to snitch or whatever the case may be, but there has never been a conversation about like details of snitching. Like I guess you could say like the intricacies of it, like, you know, is it like snitch? Is it like no snitching, like a blanket statement, like don't snitch by any means necessary, or is it like, okay, you could snitch if it's like your mom's involved, or like, you know, if your worst enemy's involved, or whatever the case may be? Like, what are the details of snitching? Are there rules to snitching?
I think what I believe is that people are saying like you're not supposed to snitch at all.
Mm-hmm.
But where I'm coming from is that like if my mom was involved, to use your example, like of course I'm gonna excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not say anything if somebody is important, or if I didn't do anything in the first place. I'm not doing time for nobody, especially if I didn't do shit.
Period.
So,
Period.
I mean,
or what about if it was your worst enemy? Like, what if it was an enemy that tried to do you harm?
Right.
And that's the same scenario with him.
Right.
So apparently that's what he said. But then to, you know, people play the devil's advocate, which I haven't done in a while, but to play the devil's advocate, what people are saying is that he knew what he was getting himself into when he signed up in that gang. So it's like when shit hits the fan and people try to take your life, or they try to kidnap you or do stuff, or and he said that they tried to bang his baby mama, whatever the case may be, like, you knew the things that can come with this lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
that part of it is why I can kind of see the argument of like do a rap, because you chose the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like you were an innocent bystander and they tried to kill you. And then, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's true too.
Me personally, I do uphold the no snitching kind of thing, but I will say that there are levels to it, right? I just feel like there needs to be, it can't be just like a blanket no snitching against everything. Like if my life is in danger, if anybody in my family's life's in danger, or my friends, or, you know, a situation like that, like I'm gonna do what needs to be done.
Right.
You know?
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm also not out here like, oh, it was him, Judge. It was her. Throw him in jail, like pointing and stuff. I'm not that type of nigga as well, but there's cases where it does call for it. So you can use your own judgment. Everyone can use their own judgment, or not use their own judgment about whether or not they believe that Tekashi 6ix9ine should have snitched or not. But you know,
I don't think that. I think that'll always be like a back and forth conversation, because it's, you know.
Exactly. Everybody has different opinions of it.
Exactly. There's going to be two larger sides, and then different components within each side, or different layers within each side. But so clearly he's not canceled because he's still hitting numbers. But
major numbers.
Right. But is Doja Cat canceled to you after the recent things that came out about her?
What I want to say before we get into that is that it is so crazy how she reached #1 in the top of the top. Like I believe it's every artist's dream to reach number one on Billboard charts on the, top 100s. And she literally got her dream and reached her dream, brought Nicki Minaj along with her, which is Nicki Minaj's first number one, which I'm ecstatic for. If you don't know, I'm a huge Nicki Minaj fan, but it's just like, how do you go from reaching the top of the top to dropping all the way down to the bottom to people like literally not caring for you and calling for you to be canceled?
Right. She's always been a little off to me from jump.
Yeah.
Been a little like something just wasn't clicking with me for her.
She gives me, you know what she gives me? She gives me airy.
Airy, like airhead?
Yeah, she gives me like she's not really there all the time. Like I heard she's a super smart girl and she's super talented, but she gives me aloof.
Right. She gets very like ditzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that. But
No, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm saying I first heard about her though with her Bitch I'm a Cow song.
Yes.
I'm a cow. That's how I was introduced to her, and I was like, okay, so she's just a troll as well.
Yeah.
It seemed like a lot of people were starting to fall in line with trolling as a way to become popular.
Yeah. But, you could say that again.
But did she cancel to you after her saying the N-word and in a group full of white people? And
so it's an interesting situation because like I basically heard like two sides to the story. I heard the original side, which was they were saying that she was saying all this in the group chats a long time ago, and that she doesn't like black men, and they just pretty much put a whole bunch of dirt on her name, which is also very convenient seeing that she just reached number one. But so I heard that side, and I'm like, what? Is this true? Like, and then she comes out and she explains like what happened in her side of the story, and she pretty much tries to clean it up. So when she cleaned it up, I kind of see myself saying, you know what, like, I understand what she's saying. Like, I can't be too mad. That's her life experience. I don't know all the details of what happened. And I've gotten to the point where I'm not quick to just cancel somebody based upon actions that have gotten brought up that they did long time ago, because I know that we all make mistakes. We all do dumb shit. I can be on this this conversation. I can say right now in this conversation that I've made several mistakes.
Right.
So God forbid.
That's a point of living.
Part of life. So God forbid I reach a certain point in my life and then people try to throw this dirt on my name and say I did this and I did that, when it's literally years and years later, and I've literally transformed myself to this like, great person. Like, I feel like I'm a dope person. So I'm not quick to cancel Doja. I'm definitely not canceling her. But at the same time, like, I'm also not in my living room or my room rocking her music. Like,
right. That's literally what I was just thinking. I'm like, the only song I love Say So. Say So for me is like that's a nice, fun song, like driving down the coast song.
Yeah.
But I'm not streaming her albums and shit. You know what I mean? Like I never really was invested in her that much in the first place to cancel her. But I do agree with you that, we shouldn't be so quick to cancel people, especially without knowing the full story or hearing the person out. And, I can talk on and on about cancel culture, child. But
yeah, we actually have to talk about cancel culture.
Right, exactly. So I can talk on and on about that. But yeah.
So basically, you didn't cancel her.
I didn't cancel her because she never was a factor to me, and she's still not. But it is interesting that, girl, you hit number one and then it just bloop.
Right, and that's what they try to do. They try to just take it. And you know who it probably was? It probably was like
Meg Thee Stallion. She said, I need number one.
Liz, I don't think it was her. I don't think it was her. I just think it was probably like part of like the Beehive or something. Because Beyonce's Beehive, like this is not really extreme. Like, it was nothing that was done to Beyonce outside of her not getting the number one that week.
Yeah.
But I know just as much as Nicki Minaj's Barb's wanted Nicki Minaj to have the number one, the same thing with Beyonce's Beehive. They wanted her to have number one.
Yeah.
And eventually, literally like 2 weeks later.
It wasn't even it was 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week later. Well, no, the 1 week later, I think Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber got the number one. a week later.
Oh, that's when Tekashi did that whole thing with the whole.
Yeah, exactly. And then this week is when Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce got number one, which, to be honest with you, I'm really, really ecstatic for as well. Just as much as I was ecstatic for Nicki Minaj getting number one for Say So, I'm ecstatic for Beyonce having another number one.
I really thought in the first place Beyonce and Meg deserved it because they recreated the whole damn song. Like that's what a remix is, what it's supposed to. The Say So remix is dope too, don't get me wrong, but Beyonce and Megan recreated the song, you know, and Nicki Minaj kind of just laid her verse on top of the song, a song that was already created. Doja didn't redo any of her verses or anything like that. So I just believe artistry-wise, like Beyonce and Meg deserved it in the first place. However, I'm super happy, like you said, for Nicki and Doja and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point to make because that remix with Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce, listen,
right?
TikTok when I dance,
right?
Time she might start her OnlyFans. Listen, when I heard
Beyonce, OnlyFans,
yeah, I said when I heard Beyonce rap that, I said, "Girl, who are you trying to be?"
Right, but listen, and then I'm sure OnlyFans stock went $1 million. Went up $1 million. Huh?
I said it really did. I heard like the Google search engine went up with people in.
I'm sure.
Find out what OnlyFans is.
I'm sure, and so many people are making them now too. So many people are making
OnlyFans. Speaking of OnlyFans, would you ever be interested in making an OnlyFans?
No, no, thank you.
But I mean, OnlyFans don't. I mean, I think somebody made a great point the other day. OnlyFans is not only about a sexual thing.
I know it's not. It's not, but that's like obviously like what most people think of when they associate. Yeah. What am I going?
So you wouldn't go in there and like just take off your shirt and show a little nip?
Sure would not. Sure would not.
Listen, I'm not even gonna lie. If my body was banging, I wouldn't show like my private areas.
What you doing? You'll show enough to get.
I wouldn't show my peen and my booty, but I would show maybe my
maybe your feet. Maybe you can show.
Oh no!
I'm about to show you my feet. I'm all lifting my feet.
Hold on. I would not listen. If I show my feet, I would have to pay everybody to show my feet. I would be paying everybody to show my feet. I have nigga man feet.
No, but I guess what I mean is like there's like you said, the people don't only show like their peen and stuff.
Yeah.
However, I do want to get into that Black China reality show that she got coming out with Flashman Wade and Safari and all of them talking about their experience with OnlyFans and how much money they've been making.
Right. Because Safari and his wife did just come out and show their statements showing how much they actually make like in a week and a month and everything.
Yeah. And there's people out there paying. That's the thing that's blowing my mind.
No, I understand. Like, I understand the people that are paying. I mean, I personally wouldn't do it, but I understand the people that are paying for people with status. You know what I'm saying? Like of a celebrity. If it's a celebrity that you find attractive, I understand. I understand why somebody. Huh?
I understand it, but it's gonna come out for free on Twitter eventually anyway.
That's true.
I mean, I like I said, I get that, but I will never be able to pay for porn or any of that. But if I'm not judging, if anyone does, I just don't understand it.
So would you not pay for it because you feel like it would be out for free, or you just are like?
Well, I mean, but there's a plethora of free porn out there already.
But if it was a porn that was out of, let's see, Mario, You Should Let Me Love You, Mario, and
I've already seen it.
What?
I've seen his peen already.
No, I'm talking about a porno. I haven't. You seen his peen?
Not in person.
I'm talking about a porno.
I know, like I've seen him touching it a little bit.
Well, I'm talking about a porno. If you've seen him in a porno, you wouldn't pay to see that if it was completely exclusive?
No.
Really? What if it was just $2.99?
Who? I am not paying. I'm not paying for it. Okay. Now, if it was 99 cents, maybe.
Oh, child. Okay, so it's about the money. Okay.
There's just stuff that I will bet I can better use my.
No, and I'm the same way, to be honest with you. I don't like. I mean, we had a conversation about masturbation uh, the last week, so I'm obviously not the person to like really invest in porn, so I can sit in my room or my living room to jack off to it. I'm just mostly like, oh, child, why did he do that? Or why did she do that? Oh, she better throw that, or he better swing that, or whatever stuff like that.
I'm so done.
But yeah, so.
Okay, well, switching gears a little bit. I'm glad we started on a higher note, a lighter note, because I think we'll be remiss if we don't talk about the ongoing killing and shooting and killing of unarmed Black men.
It's completely exhausting. Like I knew that we were going to eventually get to this topic, but when I tell you that I don't find any enjoyment, or I don't get anything, or I feel sadness when I have to talk about my people still getting murdered or lynched out in public or in general,
and weaponized, using
skin
color as a weapon, and saying with that lady what's her name in New York calling the police man, right, Karen, right.
Well, how did you feel? We didn't discuss it. How did you feel about her doing that? Like, did you see the whole video? Like, what was your initial reaction?
I was kind of shocked. To be honest, I was kind of like, I wasn't shocked in the sense of saying like, oh, it's never happened. I was just shocked in like how she worked herself up into this his false hysteria.
Yes.
And saying like, oh, he's attacking me. Come, I'm in the ramble. Hurry up. Choking the hell out of that dog.
Child.
That dog.
Okay, and then I saw when it flipped. It's not funny, but I saw when it flipped out, and the dog said, "Ow!" I said, "Oh my God!" I wanted to sock that woman in her face just for doing that to the dog. But I did, and I don't hit women, but that literally that took me out.
But isn't it interesting, because that's like maybe the third time in a 72-hour period where we're getting news of people calling the cops and blaming stuff on Black people that are not true. Because then you have that lady that killed her 9-year-old son with autism, threw him in the river and blamed it on 2 Black men. Then you have the situation with this man that was cheating with his wife and said that he was kidnapped by 2 Black men to try to cover it up. And it's like, not only are you lying, and not only are you saying that it's men, you're targeting Black men as saying like, this is the group of people that commit these type of crimes.
Yeah. Like, why do we constantly have to be the scapegoat to like these horrendous kind of like crimes that don't make any sense? Like, I'm not trying to say Black men out here are perfect and that we're all law-abiding citizens. We all do our shit. But at the end of the day, our crimes aren't worse, and we don't do more crimes than a lot of the general population.
We're white people, period.
We're literally only 14% of the population, right? Like, we're 14% of the whole population.
Of the United States, I have to look that up.
Yeah, of the United States. I believe it's like 14%. And yet, like, we're already incarcerated. Like, I think they said like 40%, like our incarceration, our rate of incarceration for Black men is like 40% or something. Yeah. I think maybe the numbers went up or whatever the case may be, but it's just really sad that we're still in the place that now people are saying we're doing these things. And thank God we're in a day and age where we have cameras that kind of low-key protect us, or we have some allies that will stand up for us.
Well, that's the thing. Now we have cameras. And this is not anything new. It's just now it's being recorded. And I want to say, like, when doing stuff like that is what leads to the issue that happened with the man that got killed because he had the knee on his neck.
George Floyd.
Yes.
Rest in peace, George Floyd. Like that.
Shit. He had his knee on his neck for 9 minutes.
You know what's crazy is that this was the first video, and I think I messaged you or I sent you a message or I tagged you or something. This was actually the first video that I actually got really, really emotional and cried on. Like, I literally watched, and I feel like I say literally a lot, sidebar, but I really just watch this video knowing what I was going to see. And once I seen him have the officer have his knee, well, let me say the murderer. I'm not even going to address him as officer.
Right.
I'm just going to say the murderer. When I seen the murderer have his knee on this black man's neck, and the life was draining out of this black man, of George Floyd's body, I literally got emotional. Like, are you kidding me? Like, we're watching somebody's life get taken in broad daylight.
Right.
Like, that was literally traumatizing to
me. Like, set a timer, homework assignment for y'all. If it's not triggering, set a timer for 9 minutes and just let it play.
Yeah.
Just let the timer go for 9 minutes so you can see how long 9 minutes is. And that man had a full grown ass man on his neck.
And then I watched The View the other day, or I watched The View to hear about what they were talking about in regards to this matter. And I heard Sunny, who's one of my favorite commentators on the show, and she was just like, if you watch a video earlier from when they arrested him, he looked like he was compliant.
Right. He wasn't fighting them off or anything.
He wasn't fighting them off. It looked like he was compliant and handcuffed and being against the wall and everything like that. So how do you go from a situation where you apprehend someone and they're compliant, they're being against the wall, to now having him in the middle of the street and having your neck on him and letting him lose his life while your backup and your officers are standing around trying to crowd control? Like, how do you get there?
Right. And that murderer had the intention on killing him. That was his intent. It had to be.
So what do you see? What do you feel like should be done? Because right now we're in a place where people are looting in Minneapolis, and they're rioting in Los Angeles, and there's a lot of emotion and anger and sadness that is going on right now. What would you tell someone that is feeling like a huge sense of anger and sadness and that wants to do more? What would be your recommendation on what to do at this point?
Well, I don't want to tell anyone how to move with their emotions, but when I first saw the whole, I won't lie, when I initially saw the looting happening with Target, I was like, why? What does this have to do with that? Like, why? Because now this is my initial thought, like I said, though, we're allowing these people to change the narrative and focus on this rather than the murder of this black man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It changes the narrative. However, as I sat with it a little bit more, I'm like, Target gonna be fine.
They are.
Target's gonna be fine, but we can't get this black man that got killed back.
Exactly.
And it also, I can't even really talk about it. I'm so exhausted about it, but I'm starting to see some people's true colors when they talk about the looting and don't address anything about the murder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I see people's true colors, because you don't say anything, or not even Black Lives. You don't say nothing about Black Lives Matter. You just, why are they looting the store?
Yeah, like, why is that the first thing that has to come to your mind when somebody's life was taken?
Right, because you knew his life was taken before that happened, and you didn't say anything in that window of time.
Listen, I'm also not going to tell anybody how to handle their emotion, their anger, or their sadness or anything. But what I will recommend is, if we could just literally take a time to see what we can do to be more united. Right. You know what I'm saying? As a people, like, I'm not saying that I agree with what they're doing with looting. I'm not saying I disagree. But what I'm saying is that what I recommend people to do in this time, that, like myself, I feel anger, I feel sadness, I feel a whole bunch of emotion. What I want to do is make sure that I'm there for my people. I want to be able to step up and be there for my people. So that's my recommendation. People are going to do what they want to do, and please handle your emotion the way that you should, which is make sure that you're okay. Talk to someone, maybe seek therapy, because this is traumatizing. But at the end of the day, like, in order for us to move together in this time and come up with a solution on how our people should move, I think unity and being united is one of the first things, and I always say that is one of the first things that we should do. So my prayers go out to all the families of Black men or Black women that have lost their lives, or Black trans that have lost their lives, and specifically right now at this moment, my prayers are out to George Floyd's family, because I just couldn't imagine ever being in a situation like this.
Right.
Yeah. It's really, really sad.
It's really sad. And like I said, I can't even, I don't want to watch it anymore. I didn't watch the full thing. But
yeah, so that story is still developing. The officers have been fired.
I just saw something about the owner. Apparently, it was a fraudulent $20 bill. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that article. I literally saw it right before we started recording, so I didn't fact check the article.
Yeah,
it said something about it was a fake $20 bill, but he was sitting outside the store for a long time. So why did you call the cops? Stop calling the fucking cops on Black people. Just
listen.
Stop.
I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even want them to put that story out about what the reason was why he was being arrested.
But the thing is, sorry, and I want you to finish your thought. The thing is, so many people accidentally use fraudulent money. I don't sit up and check every dollar and see like, oh, there's a line.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I don't know him, but I'm sure that was an accident.
But at the end of the day, this is not a conversation that needs to be had, because he's no longer alive to be able to prove that it was an accident or that he didn't know it was fake. Like, at the end of the day, this is still circumstantial, because we can't prove, they can't even prove that he intended to use it or whatever the case may be in a court of law. So I don't even want the conversations or focus to be about what he did to even have the police come there. I want the focus to solely be on these officers that took this Black man's life, and how the fact that we need justice as a community. His family needs justice, he needs justice, but we need justice as a community, and we need to stick together to make sure that that family and our community gets justice.
Yes. And see, I want to say so much more, but well, not so much more, but one of those cops were Asian. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
This is why I don't use that term people of color, because none of those cops were Black. And I'm sure if there was at least one Black cop there, this wouldn't have happened. But there were cops there that were a person of color.
Exactly.
I stood there and just let it ride out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there at this point.
But I mean, I wish we had way more time, because there's so much to unpack and discuss.
Well, we'll be back in about a month or two to talk more.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Stay safe and stay healthy, and we should be able to get free soon. Off of lockdown soon. So
hopefully.
Yeah.
So take care of yourselves. We'll be back with a new look next season. I hope y'all ready.
We got some exciting things coming up. Some very, very exciting things. Thank you guys for rocking with us this season.
Season 4.
Yes. Thank you. It's been a great time, and I'm happy that you were successful, and I'm happy to.
That's our first solo season, or that's the first season with just the two of us. It went very well.
We did it. Congratulations to everyone involved.
Yes. All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves. Social distance.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys soon.
See y'all season 5. Love y'all. Bye.